Hello everyone, I'm Sage and I'm super excited to share with you the Cool Blonde collection by Goldwell. They've come out with some really cool products in top chic color-ons and silk lift that will really help you attain those icy cool blondes that are really popular right now. Just to have a preview of what those blondes look like, you do have your color service manual that shows you everything from your icy white blondes to your brunettes transitioning into a cooler blonde for the summer. So there's a look for everyone in here. When you flip the page, you can see all of the techniques that they've come up with so you can share them with your clients. You have everything from your deep shading, natural shading, soft shading, and multi-shading. They give you that nice cool shadows in the hair, and they still give you the nice dimension without looking too dramatic or too funky, so everything has that natural look. Some of the products that are really impressive and I love that they came out with so far is the Silk Lift Control. So it takes Silk Lift to a whole new level, especially when it comes to getting that perfect white blonde. It has a really patented dye that doesn't disintegrate when the lightener is actually active. So you have to make sure that you really do put the tone stabilizer in with it to make sure that that toning ingredient really does stay active. They have everything from your violet to your beige keeping a really nice pretty beigey color for that summer sun-kissed blonde, and your violet for that titanium icy white blonde, which is very popular. And from personal experience, it's really nice because if you don't have time to do more than an express toning, it does help get you there. One of the techniques that I did want to show you today was going back to our service manual. Bear with me. The natural shading technique. So I wanted to show this technique because it's a way to transition out of ombre, keeping it a little bit more modern. It's a mix of a soft sombre color melt into the ombre world, and it's a really good way to transition your cool winter brunette into a nice natural summer blonde, but still maintaining that coolness without all of that warmth. My model that I have today, she started out as a level 5 NA. I'm going to bring her out right now. So the technique I'm about to demonstrate is the natural shading technique. This is one out of the 4 new techniques in the Goldwell Service Manual, which you can find here. How this technique is going to start is you want to change her background color. Lindsay started out as a natural 5 NA. We wanted to warm her up so that she still had a cooler root to the blonder ends, but we did want her to be a little bit lighter. So we used the Top Chic 8CA with the 6% volume, so she came out really beautiful. The technique that I'm about to demonstrate is a more natural transition into an ombre. So ombre is kind of going out. People still want that lighter ends, but this is a little bit more natural way to attain that, so it looks a little bit more sun-kissed. How you want to start out is you want to section into 4 quadrants, just like I did here, leaving out her nape area because this is going to be the same background color as the rest of her root area. And this is a really simple technique because you're going to take horizontal sections, we're going to do slices, and I'm going to show you a color melting technique, which is going to be that shadowing, and we're going to work up the head in those 4 quadrants. Cool? You ready to start, Lindsay? Mm-hmm. All right. So what you're going to do, you want to take thin horizontal sections, depending on how noticeable you want the color placement to be. Taking a thin slice. I am going to use foil so that the lightener gets enough heat. And we're going to start with our new Silk Lift Control. So you want to place your lightener first, and I'm placing it vertically with my brush so that you get a nicer graduation and flow to your color. Now this Silk Lift Strong Control in the violet is going to help counterbalance a lot of that underlying warmth that her natural hair has, which will be a very pretty end result. So once you place your lightener, you're then going to take your middle shade, which is the new 11 SV, the new 11 SV with 9% volume. And you're placing that from your background color and blending that in with your lightener. So then 11 SV is right in the middle of your very controlled 11 series and your very warm 11 series, so you're going to get some of the control, but exposing a little bit of underlying warmth so that the blend from warm to cool is going to be seamless. Shaft and ends to get the highest concentration, turning our brush vertical and working our way up. Going a little further up on the outside to give it a nice natural seam. Making sure our ends are completely saturated. And then following that with our 11 series, Silver Natural. Working right on the seam of that silk lift that we placed in. So this way the shadowing technique is really blending color melting and ombre together. So my model Lindsay finally came back. If you can see, this gave her that perfect natural melt and the natural shadowing that I did show you in the technique. So you'll find the natural shading technique right in the front. It's the first technique that you go over. And if you do notice, as you're working through your service manual, they do have the iPhone icons. So this gives you a 3D interactive experience with your manual if you're not used to it. So everything that I showed you on this DVD really becomes real life when you scan over this booklet. So it's just like what you watched today. It explains all of the formulations that we used and the shading technique that we did in her foils. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for having me share the Cool Blonde collection with you. I hope you love it as much as I do, and I hope to see a lot more cool blondes this summer.